Hello, 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 everybody. You know who this is. This is your girl, Coach Misha Wilson, Mimi Wilson, transformation coach, whatever you want to call me. That is who I am right now at this moment. I'm so excited right now because I have this young, beautiful woman of God on my podcast. When
Thank
I
you.
say we go to church together, we fellowship together. Her mom is Prophetess Dearest, and when I could say she come from a legacy, she come from a legacy. And so when I think of her and when I first met her and I first taste her juices, y'all, it blew me away. It blew me away because I became on this little health kick and everything. And I was like, it was so refreshing just to
Hmm.
see somebody young, somebody black, somebody beautiful, somebody vibrant, and knowing what they wanted to do. And then I found out about her background. But before we get into that, let me tell you about Centera Williams. She is phenomenal. She is young. She is brilliant. She is all of that in between. We don't, to me, give us as black women, I don't think that we promote us well enough. And so I want to take and say I give you your flowers on today. I'm extremely proud of
Thank
everything that you're
you.
doing and all of your accomplishments. And she is, let me let you do this. Go ahead and tell people who you are and what you represent.
First, I just want to say, Coach Wilson, thank you so much for having me on your podcast. I love what you're doing. I love that you are highlighting people, not just of like the same background, but different backgrounds to let other people know like what's out there. So I really appreciate you for having me. Thank you so much. And I just speak like blessings over this podcast. This podcast is going to go further than you could ever imagine. So I thank you for letting me be on this platform. So as you have said, my name is Centera Williams, and I am the owner of Coco de Mer Juice Shop. And I started the juice shop I started juicing first back February 2024. It started off as like a little birthday present, and then I started making more juices. People started noticing me, posted on Facebook, and it just took off from there. But in the midst of me making my juices and going to different churches and stuff like that, I was still working my 9 to 5. So I guess a little background on me: I have a bachelor's in biology with a biomedical emphasis. So I was a scientist working in St. Petersburg.
Mm.
And that is a long drive from Lakeland to St. Petersburg, back and forth. But to God be the glory. And so during that time, that's when I was making the juices. And then I noticed the juice business was really taking off. And it came to a point where it was the juice business and my 9 to 5 were like neck and neck. And so I told God, and I was like, God, if you need me to leave this job, if this is something that you really want me to pursue, you're gonna have to make this happen because I love my job. I love doing what I was doing. And I think looking back, it was like a safety net. Because I knew, okay, every 2 weeks I'm getting a check. My 401k is in there. But when it came to my business, it's like, okay, I have to make sure that the money's coming in. I got to make sure that, I'm getting different vending events, gigs. If I don't, no money coming in. So it was really like a faith move. So from working my 9 to 5, I ended up leaving this year, January 2nd was my last year working at the pharmaceutical company that I was working at. And
Right.
it's just been a faith walk ever since.
And I
So,
think that's one of the things that I've been asking a lot of the women, and I've done a series on, is walking in your new. And what if your new does not look like what you planned? And what does
right.
your new mean to you at this moment?
Right. So if you were to tell me 2 years ago that I was going to forego, my bachelor's degree, I was going to forego working, climbing up this ladder to being a scientist. If you told me 2 years ago that that was going to be a thing in the past, I wouldn't have believed you. Like my heart was just
Wow.
in my work. Like you can ask my parents. I've always been doing little scientist experiments, even when I was younger. I just knew that was the path that I was going to be on. So when it came to transitioning over to the juice shop, it was new. Everything was new. It was just it was new territory. And whenever you have new territory, there's also fear. And
Right.
so when you have fear, sometimes it can also hold you back. So I knew that I was holding on to my job, my 9 to 5, tight as if it's the last dollar in my hand. But eventually, God had to transition me over to being the full-time business owner. And so I had to combat fear. There were times where I want to say shout out to my family because they have grounded me so much. Because
Yes.
there's times where I would come to my family, I'll be crying like, okay, what do we got to do? What's next? What's going on? Like, I don't know. Like, should we do this? Like, is this right? So it was a lot of just getting over that fear and really stepping into the new role that God was calling me to be on, which was entrepreneurship. So, yeah, so
So I
that's.
know you said about you working in corporate, working as a
Mhm,
scientist, but and I know you were saying that in the beginning you just were doing the juices and stuff, but what
mhm.
really pushed you to really start the business? Like to say, you know what, this is I'm about to make this my lifestyle, my
Mhm.
career. What really pushed you to start this business?
So I would say so originally when I first started making the juices, I started because I didn't want to drink any more of the juices that were inside of the local food stores or your grocery
Mm,
stores, because there are juices there that have like a lot of added sugars. You ever looked in the back of a bottle, you can't
yes.
read what this word says. And so it really started like I wanted to start cleansing my body and being more conscious of the things that I'm intaking. And so that's what really made me start making the juices. At first, it started off as a personal thing. Like, oh, I'm just going to make
Got you.
juices for myself. Sometimes my family would, intake. And then I realized, you know what? This is a bigger need in the community. Not a lot
Right.
of people are exposed to fresh juices. A lot of people believe the juices that are in the grocery stores are good for them, but when you look at the back of the bottle, the ingredients, like I said,
Right.
it's doing more harm than good. So I was like, well, how can I help the community understand that there are better ways to get your nutrients, fresher, natural, just to help the community to know you don't have to be so heavily dependent on sugar. As we
Right.
know, they say the most addicting drug is sugar.
And it
And
is.
so if I can get the community to understand, especially when it comes to Black people, we
Hmm.
have a stigma on us when it comes to diabetes, when it comes to
Right.
hypertension. And a lot of these things can change if our diet was to align with things that are more natural.
Come on.
So
Yeah.
if I can get people to understand or get people to even try to change their palate, to taste these juices and let them know that there's benefits that come behind it, then it's like almost helping to fix one more thing in the community to help push us towards more healthy options and stuff like that.
And
So.
I was just getting ready to ask you what are some of the benefits of the cold pressed juices, which I know
Mhm.
personally they're so refreshing. Like my favorite is the one where you have the aloe and the
Oh
aloe water
yes, the
and
hydration bliss.
now
Uh-huh.
listen, when I say I've never liked the aloe water or anything like that because I was like, ugh.
Hmm.
But yours is so, and I'm just being honest, yours
Uh-huh.
is so good. I love the watermelon. I
Oh,
taste
thank
the
you.
what was the one with the apple? It tastes like you actually
Oh,
literally
the
biting
AJ
into an
honey.
apple.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness. So tell not just me, but everybody that is watching, what are the benefits of your cold press juices?
Okay, so first I want to say that because my juices are natural and they don't contain any sugar, it's going to naturally detoxify the body. So I always tell people, because some people ask me, if I drink this, is it going to make me run to the bathroom? But I tell them, if you have been eating a little poorly, and then you jump in and you start drinking my juices, it is going to flush you out. So I want to say one of the main benefits, it is definitely going to flush you out. I want to point out certain ingredients that I do use a lot in my juices, which is ginger. And so I know a lot of people who say, oh, I'm having inflammation in my body. My joints are a little tight. I recommend the juices that have the ginger in it, because ginger is going to be your number one helper when it comes to fighting against inflammation in the body. And also when people ask about, oh, you know, I'm having digestive issues, or a big one is high blood pressure. A lot of Black people in our community, we deal with high blood pressure. And so I recommend beets. But as soon as I say beets, people squinch their face up, but it's like, no. Beets do more for you than you think. So beets, when beets hit the bloodstream, they release this thing called nitrates. And the nitrates that's in the bloodstream will help relax the blood vessels, which aids in lowering your blood pressure. So I tell people, hey, if you are having problems with high blood pressure, you can either eat your beets or drink your beets. It will, the benefits that you will see.
If it's your juice, I'll drink your juice. I won't eat the beets, but I'll drink the juice. I'll drink it because yours is good.
Thank you. And I tell people, you know, don't deviate from, you know, if you're on prescriptions or stuff like that, don't deviate from it. But the juices will aid in helping you with your health. And so also I use a lot of pineapple in my juices. That is good for the digestive tract as well. A lot of people who are looking for clear skin, if you see, you know, clear skin. Look. People who are looking for clear skin, then I recommend, okay, you need to either eat your carrots or drink juices that have carrots, because carrots contain carotene, which also helps aid in skin elasticity, the glowing skin. Everybody's looking for the glow nowadays, but that glow or whatever you're looking for, it's going to come from not just drinking my juices, but also changing your diet and eating more natural and fresh items.
What I'm gonna ask this, what is the bestsellers? What I'm gonna tell you mine, but what is the bestsellers?
The best sellers would be my Golden Glory. So the Golden Glory contains mango, pineapple, and coconut water. That is the top seller. But right after that, I would say the Green Thumb. The Green Thumb goes out so fast. As soon as I put it on the shelf, it's going. People buy it by the 2s, 3s, 5 at a time.
Yeah.
And the Green Thumb contains pineapple, spinach, ginger. Like I said, I put a lot of ginger in my juices, apple, and also mint. And it's not a bitter green. So a lot of people are afraid of green juices. When they see green, they're like, oh, I don't. But no, it's not a bitter green. It's a sweet green. So that one, Green Thumb, Golden Glory, they sell out the most. I also have one here. This one is my Great Fusion. Now, this is my mom's favorite.
Yes.
The Great Fusion, I guess I would say would come in third. That one has ginger, red cabbage, pineapple, and apple. So that one also is a very good item if you're looking to, especially if you're looking to help fight inflammation and stuff like that. That is a very good one to go for as well.
I need to try that one. I haven't tried that one, but I have tried numerous of your drinks. And let's say this, outside of your drinks, because we're just talking about your drinks, but it's much more to you. It's much more to your juice shop. And that's big for me because of me changing my diet and finding those healthy but good, flavorful type items. And I know me and my daughter and my granddaughters, we came and visited your shop in Orlando, and we sat down and we did some footage, and that footage will be posted when your video comes out.
Okay.
But I wanted to just tell people what else is behind your name. It's not just juices, but it's also the dishes that you serve.
Yes. So what I really wanted was to be inclusive, and I really wanted to be health focused. So I have vegan options at my shop. I have vegetarian options. I made sure that all the smoothies that I make at my shop are dairy free. Even the whipped cream is dairy free. And the reason why I wanted it to be dairy free, not a lot of people know, or maybe some people do know, but when you consume a lot of dairy, it causes a lot of mucus in the body. And so I just said, okay, let me just make sure that not only am I promoting the healthy juices, but everything else is healthy as well. And so I make some power bowls, some very protein power bowls. I have a seafood one. I have a seafood power bowl. And a couple chicken power bowls that come with fresh rice, lettuce, your protein. So just something that's not going to make you feel like, okay, I need to go lay down and take a nap after I had this meal or whatever. I just wanted something that's filling for the body, but also fuel for the body, and not just, just another one of these fast food places that just is serving you anything. Like, I actually care about what people are intaking. So, and also I have a very famous dessert. It's called acai.
Yes.
Some people do know the famous acai bowls. Those are really good. The acai berry itself is considered a superfood. Originates from Brazil, and you can eat it for breakfast, or you can eat it after like a meal. And that's a healthier option as well. We put fresh fruit on top of it. All of our fruit is fresh. None of our fruit is frozen. Everything is fresh and ready to go. So that's another one. And then we also have, the normal like chicken sandwiches, but they're grilled chicken. So we use grilled chicken sandwiches that we have. We don't use no oil. Nothing is used with oil. Nothing is deep fried at the shop. So it's really a health focused shop for somebody who's trying to take the steps to better their health or better their walk when it comes to their health.
And it's delicious. I'm sorry. Y'all listen. So that is one of the biggest things that I hear. A lot of people, they fight against eating healthy because they say, well, it doesn't taste as good. I beg to differ. I beg to differ. I was sitting there, and even my granddaughter, my granddaughter was like, listen, I'm about to pass out. She said, I'm about to start crying. This is so good. And she's 11.
My gosh.
She is 11 years old. And I took a video of her saying this because I wanted people to know that this was not rehearsed. This was not scripted. Like, she literally said, me. And the kids do this thing.
Yeah, the clock.
She was like, it was so good. And it's the truth. I had one of your wraps, a chicken wrap. And it was so delicious. When we came up there, I had the bowl with the shrimp. When I say I was sitting there like, oh my goodness, this food is so good. And it's something that you would want to eat every day, all day. And it doesn't make you feel bloated. So that was a plus for me, because I'm at that age now that I'm getting ready to hit 54, and I got to make sure I'm right. And that's the truth. We have so much when it comes to our genetics, our backing with high blood pressure, diabetes, and all of these other things, inflammation in the body. And I know because maybe about a few years ago, the whole left side of my body literally felt like it was shutting down, and it was inflammation. And that's what really pushed me into wanting to be healthy eat healthier. And so a lot of times we think that exercise is the only way. No, it goes
Hmm.
beyond that. It has to
Yeah.
complement each other. And
Yeah.
so I commend you for eating, if you, even being young, to want to even start something like this, because a lot of times young people, because I know I was young, thinking, oh, I got
You're
time.
still young. You're still young.
I got it, but not that young. And so
Yeah,
when your
that's
body starts talking to you, you
mhm.
need to listen. A lot of times our body is talking to us and is saying you're neglecting, some things. So when you do take in the juice and you do take
Yeah.
in the aloe water, when I say the hydration juice, it was
Yeah.
so to the you literally could feel your body
Hmm.
absorbing. People don't believe that, but you can
Hmm.
really feel your body absorbing it to the point you crave more of it because
Uh-huh.
it is lacking. Even with headaches, people don't understand the muscles in the brain
Hmm.
area. You have a lot of migraines because it's dehydrated.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
And
And
so,
I wanted to touch on what you said about, now that you're getting older, you want to do more, but I know when we're young, teens, 20s, we think we can eat anything, but there are people who develop diabetes in their 20s. There's people who
yes,
develop diabetes in their teens. So it's like I want to make sure it's out there in the community because I don't want people to wait until the last minute. Now you're
yes,
trying to eat better. Now you're trying to drink healthier juices or stuff like that to alleviate the health complications that came because you weren't eating right in the beginning. And so I want people to understand there is no age limit on when to start eating clean.
right.
And some people, they say, oh, well, I went on a juice detox fast before and it didn't work. Well, you're drinking the juices, but you're also eating Wendy's.
Come on. Now you
So
preaching.
you can't expect it. You can't expect the juices to fix an already poor diet. So the juices are not just a get quick health thing that you can just take. You have to actually be changing your lifestyle in order to also see the benefits of the juices. Because how am I going to be drinking the juices and I'm eating a triple smash burger,
Come
cheese
on.
fries, and then I say,
Eating
oh
heart
well,
attack.
yeah, eating heart attacks, and then I say, oh well, it didn't work. Well, no, you got to make sure that you're also eating healthy for the juices to help aid in your health walk. So that's what I try to tell people when you start the juice fast before you start, because I do have boxes as well, like 1 day, 2 day, or 3 day. And I tell people before you start the fast, make sure you are already eating healthy for maybe a couple days, or you can maybe do like a 1 day water fast and then jump into the 1 day juice fast, or the
That's
two
good
day.
to know.
Or if you're somebody, you have to eat something or you have to consume something, I say, okay, well, drink the juices and also drink or eat bone broth or soups, something that's not as heavy, but it's still gonna, keep you full for those who absolutely need to eat something. And if you need something more than that, then I would say, okay, eat a salad, eat some actual fresh fruits and vegetables to go with the juice fast. So I think, sometimes people think that they can just drink the juices, but still eat however they want to eat. And
No.
it's like that, it's counterproductive. You're canceling yourself.
Yeah, it's fighting against each other. It's like a warfare
Exactly.
going on. And so
Exactly.
yeah, and it really is. And me being in the beauty industry, and
Hmm.
as you see, it's called Beauty Business Brains and Blessings.
Hmm.
In the beauty industry, a lot of times we see the changing of the hair, we see the changing of the skin, we see the
Hmm.
changing of the body. And one of my biggest things is, as I begin to change first the mindset,
Hmm.
and then to the mindset to say, I want healthy, I want better. How do I do that? And this is one of the steps of doing that, is
Hmm.
changing the diet, now adding the exercise in it, as
Yeah.
well. And then it really did change my skin, because a lot of people say you don't look your age. That didn't
Hmm.
just come from the genes and the genetics
Yeah.
of my parents.
The black
It
don't crack.
came from, yeah, it didn't come from that.
Hmm.
It came from actually changing my diet and the way
Yeah.
that I eat. And a lot of
Yeah.
people say, you don't really eat anything, but I eat enough. It's enough
Hmm.
that what my body is in needing. And we
Right.
talked about the business aspect of it, of you making that transition
Hmm.
from, and you really still a scientist. You are. I'm like, you are really, and let me ask you this, if you don't mind, what's your age?
So I just had a birthday and I am 31 now. 31
Listen at
years
me.
young.
31 years young and a
Mhm.
scientist. But how long have you been a scientist?
So when did this start back? My first scientist job, I was working at Pfizer in North Carolina. I was 24, I want to say.
Wow.
Yeah, I
So
was 20. Yeah, because I was right out of college.
years.
I had
7
got
years
right.
in.
Uh-huh.
Wow, 7
Yeah.
years in.
Mhm.
That is something. And so when I look at you, when I thought about this title, Beauty, Business, Brains, and Blessings, I
Mhm.
really thought about you because of your age. One, you are
Mhm.
very beautiful, but you're not just beautiful on
Thank
the
you.
outside, you're beautiful on the inside, and that makes a difference. Then the
Mhm.
business, your mindset when it comes to business, because you not only have just this location in Orlando,
Mhm.
please tell us, and this goes into the blessing part of it, because you being a scientist, you got to have brains in order to be a scientist. You just ain't
Yeah.
walking into a place to say, oh, you put this in this chromosome and this and this and
Uh-huh.
this. Yeah, you're not even doing that. So we already know you got the beauty, you got the business, you got the brains. But tell
Mhm.
us about the blessings and how God did it, why he did it, and
Mhm.
how you begin to walk into your new, which was not your plan from the very
Yeah.
beginning, but what God did for you in this blessing moment.
Right. So first I want to say it's all God. I just want to say, if you ever try to do anything or you want to go on a new venture and you don't
Right.
include God in the plans, it's going to fall, because the Bible says that with man it is impossible, but with
Come on.
God all things are possible. So first and foremost, it was a God move, complete God move. I when I first started bringing the juices to the church, they were buying it from me and stuff like that. And I just want to say, hindsight is 2020, because I thought that's just where the business was going to stop. I thought it was just going to be church, and it just makes me think of like how small I saw it, but how big God saw it. And so
Right.
I thought it was just going to be at the church. But then when we had conferences and stuff like that, people would say, hey, I'm having a conference, can you come here? Hey, I'm having this, can you come here? It was almost like God was sending people to me to help expand my business. So I
Right.
think that's a lot where like the blessings came from, because people were just coming left and right. Some people came because of word of mouth, of how good my juices were.
Mhm.
And they would email us, call us, and be like, hey, we're having an event, we want you to come out. And it just literally grew. Each one was like a stepping stone, and it just kept growing and kept growing. And I was like, wow. And I was like, favor will take you further than where you ever thought you could go. And I just want to thank God for the favor that was upon my life and my family's lives to help us get into doors that we thought we were never going to walk into. So that I just give all glory to God, because there was no way that I was going to do it on my own, that my family were going to do it on our own. Every step of the way, God was in it. And so after I started doing different conferences at different churches, it started growing to me being a vendor around Lakeland. So I
Mhm.
started, people started recognizing the name, recognizing the juices. Oh, we know you, we see you. Oh, we had your juices before. And so God was just like making the name known, making the name known. People would see me. They're like, aren't you the girl that owns the, and I was like, yeah, that's me.
But what
And
does that goes to when God says your gifts will make room for you, but the favor came because of your obedience?
Exactly. I don't think I would have reached this level had I still held on to my 9 to 5.
Right.
There was no way. It was no way, because in that, with me holding on, it was like I was telling God, I don't trust you enough
Come
to
on.
cover me. I don't trust your hand. I don't trust this move that you're trying to have me to do. So I'm gonna still hold on to this job. But once I had let go, the blessings started flowing in. So if anybody is having that, you're in like straddling the fence, is what they say. Let it go. If God is telling you, whatever it is that God is telling you to let go, He's telling you to let go for a reason, because there is a blessing on the other side of letting go. And that can apply to anything in your life: entrepreneurship,
Right.
relationship, whatever God is telling you to let go. Just know
Right.
He's always going to bless you with more. And so that is one thing that I noticed. He's just been blessing me with more and more and more. And can I talk about real quick how I got the juice shop?
Go
Because
ahead.
that's big. Okay.
Go ahead.
So it was around maybe March or April of 2025. We were starting to look for a building. And, a lot of the buildings, they were just asking for a lot of money. And I was like, God, hopefully we can find a place soon. And so my mother, I call her the logistics. She's the momager, the paperwork. That's,
Yes, she
be holding
is.
it down. She holds it down when it comes to the paperwork. And so she told me that she had found, a juice shop that was for sale. It was in Orlando. And I was like, okay. So we went up there to see it. We met the owners. They did say that somebody else was look at the same place. So I was like, okay,
Right.
hopefully they contact us or whatever. So we put in an offer, but our offer was about $10,000 less than what they were asking.
Right.
And so I remember telling my mom, and I was like, Mom, they're not gonna pick us. Like we need to make a higher offer or ask for what they want, because they're not gonna pick us. Just me, doubt. I was like, no, they're not gonna pick us. They're not gonna pick us. Because they also told us somebody else was coming to look at it. And I was like, they're probably gonna offer more. I was like, so I had to get outside of doubt. And if anybody knows in the Bible story of Gideon, when he laid out that fleece before the Lord, I told God, I was like, okay, God, here I am laying out my fleece. I said, if you want us to have this juice shop, the people are going to call us and they are going to say that they want to go with our offer. It was like a couple days or whatever went by. And I was like, we ain't heard nothing yet. And so I remember I was coming in from work and I was coming home. My mom, she was in her office as usual. And at first, she played a trick on me. At first, she acted like she was on the phone and she was like, well, I understand, thank you for the opportunity. And she looked at me and I was like, oh, we didn't get it. And then she looked and she said, we got it. She was like, they called us. They said that they wanted to go with our offer. And I was like, that was nobody but God. And then on top of that, when they said they were going to go with our offer, they even told us, we're going to take an extra $1,000 off for you. And I was like, this is nobody but God. The getting into the shop, it was nobody but God. So again, all glory be to God. He gets all the glory, all the praise, because there was no way that it was in our power. It wasn't. It was
but
not.
That's not even where your story ends. This is the good part for me. I'm that one. I love to celebrate. I love to celebrate the accomplishments, the blessings, because my mental is, God, if you did it for them, you would do it for me, God.
Exactly.
God, if it's all in God's timing. It's all in God's timing, because when you stepped away from that, he said faith without works is what? Dead, right? So until you decided to make that step to say, God, I trust you. Okay, God, you bless me with this. And he's that same God. Now the other opportunities. And when you listen, I think I hollered and screamed. I was hollering and screaming. You would have thought it was, but I looked at it as if, God, when you bless my sister in Christ, that's also blessing us, but it's also giving us a glimpse of hope. to let us
Mm-hmm.
know to hold on. And in your
Uh-huh.
timing and in due season, that
Mm-hmm.
you will turn around and you will bless us with things that we prayed for last year, the year before last year.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, do not give up on what God has for you, because not only did he bless you with that shop, come on
Uh-huh.
and tell us about the multiplying business.
I wanted to add to that. Before I started seeing the blessings come in, it looked
Mm-hmm.
like everybody around me was getting blessed, right?
Come
And,
on.
you know, sometimes comparison can come in. But what stuck out in my mind was, okay, if the people around me or close to me are getting blessed, that means God is in the neighborhood, which means
Girl,
that
you better hush. I'm about to throw this pen at this screen.
that means God is in the neighborhood and he's about to stop by my house soon. And so I like to think of, you know, how far, how long it took to really get this going. But I just I just imagine God being in a mail truck and he got all my blessings that he's hauling and he's in the neighborhood. He's
Come
stopping at
on.
sister so and so house. He stopped at brother so and so house. But if I just
Go
I
ahead and
just
preach
knew.
the sermon. Go
Okay.
ahead and preach the sermon.
Better
I'll get
start
the
preaching.
collection played out.
But I just knew that if I waited, I just knew if
Come
I waited and
on.
I didn't faint, if I waited and I didn't get weary, if I waited, I knew that God was on his way with my blessing, something that was going to bless me where I didn't have room enough to bear. And he did
Come
just
on.
that. And when we had got this shop, I thought that was it, right? Every time. First I thought, okay, this is it. I'm gonna be selling at my juices at the church. And then we got the shop. Okay, this is it. I'm just gonna be selling juices at the shop. And then here he go, giving me a double whammy. So
Oh my God.
so I just recently got a 5-year contract with the Veteran Affairs Hospital. And when I say I'm still shocked because I don't know what God's going to do next with that either. But it's the fact that the people, you know, that did our contract and stuff like that, we thought that it was just for the hospital in Tampa. That's it. Like, okay, we're just going to be at Tampa. We called them, you know, logistics, my mom, she called them. And they said, oh, no, Miss Williams, it's not just for the hospital in Tampa. You have a contract for the hospitals in every VA hospital across the United States.
Girl, you got my cheeks so tight right now.
And I was like, just when I thought that the Lord couldn't bless me even the more, here he go blowing my mind. And I still feel like it's not over. I still feel like it's not over. I still feel like he has more in his sleeve. The Bible says that his ways are not our ways. His thoughts are not our thoughts. So I can only imagine what else God has in store for the company. And so, and also I want to put this in there as well. I had got a word from a prophet, and they said, you know, I see you going nationwide. I see you, your ministry is about to bust wide open. And at the time, and he also said that I was in a season of transition. At the time, I was still working my 9-to-5, but I was like, what does he mean? I'm gonna be nationwide. Like, what are you talking about? You know, because prophets only prophesy in parts. And so I'm just like, well, God, what do you mean I'm gonna be nationwide? I don't know what you're talking about, but whatever. And so here it is when we got the contract, and they said it's for all the Veteran Affairs hospitals across the U.S. I was like, you know what, God, you bad. You bad.
Because we put God in a box. We put the blessings in a box. And we say, we always quote it. But my thing is, do we really believe it that he will give you an overflow of blessings that you won't have room enough to receive? But the thing is, he's not just blessing you, he's blessing people that's attached to you, because then that opens up opportunities to give people jobs. That gives opportunity. It really does. It also gives people a glimpse to show them that God is still in the miracle working business. And it gives
Exactly.
us a glimpse in letting us know, don't operate in your 5 cents. It's not about what you see, taste, smell, touch, hear.
Mhm.
It's about that kingdom currency, the kingdom favor of God
Exactly.
that will move on your
Exactly.
behalf if you obey, if you
Mhm.
believe. It
Mhm.
equals favor. But they gotta
Mhm.
be in an alignment. But when you became in the alignment with God, then
Exactly.
all of a sudden all these doors start
Exactly.
opening, and the
Exactly.
word started manifesting, that your
Mhm.
gifts did make room for you. And where did the gifts come from? God. So he
Exactly.
get the glory in everything. And I thank
Mhm.
God for your family. I thank God for your mom and your dad supporting you, because everybody don't get that.
Yeah.
Everybody does not have that. You see what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
Definitely.
even on that journey with your age, it's like you are so much more mature than a lot of people your age. So
Mhm.
it gets very lonely sometimes.
Yeah.
But it does. Trust me, I know. But
Mhm.
God won't allow certain things to attach to you, and it's not rejection, it's protection,
Mhm.
because of the oil that he has on you, the anointing, the
Exactly.
calling that he has on your life, that he has to keep you in a place and position that you can keep your eyes focused on him
Mhm.
for what he's getting ready to release, because everybody
Mhm.
cannot benefit off of what God is doing for you in
Yeah.
this
Exactly.
season of you
Exactly.
walking in your new. And so I'm
Exactly.
I'm I'm telling you, and we never know what our new is. And it's not
Mhm.
always what we plan, because I'm pretty sure you felt like, hey, I'm a scientist, this is gonna be my
Mhm.
job, this is my career, this is my
Yes.
life,
Yes.
but God said, okay, I'm doing a shift. And with that
Mhm.
shift, it's like, hey, wait a minute.
Uh-huh.
This is the
Yeah.
unknown, right?
Uh-huh.
This is the unknown. But I
Mhm.
thank God for you being obedient,
Thank
because it's
you.
ministry within itself without you even speaking a word on this podcast. Your
Uh-huh.
life is ministry within itself to say, if you align up with God and doing what God told you to do, the blessings is
Mhm.
coming. It's all in God's timing. But can we
Exactly.
hold on? Can we hold on while we're getting to our breakthrough, or will we break? That's
Mhm.
one of the things that God
Ooh, that
gave
is
me.
good. That's
Yeah, will we
good.
break while we're going through the breakthrough? And I
Yeah.
can honestly say, with watching you in this short period of time of knowing you, you didn't break.
Mhm.
You
Oh,
didn't
thank
break.
you.
You
Thank
did
you.
not break.
And also, I want to say there were some moments where I wanted to give up or whatever. 'Cause
Mm-hmm.
like I said, I just didn't see what it was that God was trying to do. All I saw was, okay, I left my job. I have no more income coming in. And then
Mm.
on top of that, they always say it takes money to make money. And
Yeah.
so it just felt like I was just dishing out, so much money trying to get the business to really flow like it has. Even my family, all of us just been putting in so much, and it's just like, well, God, where's the light at the end of the tunnel? So there were times where, like I said, a lot of tears, a lot of trying to trust God, a lot of questioning, like, God, did
Mm-hmm.
you really want me to do this? God, am I going in the right direction? Like, and then sometimes God, he'll just be silent.
It
And
won't
I'm just
say
like,
nothing.
and I'm like, hello?
Hello? Did you hang up on me?
And I'm like, hello? I was like, you don't hear me? You don't see me crying. You see me trying to, but at the same time, it's like, God, we're still God's children, right? And he wants us to trust him, but also he wants us to learn how to stand and to stand on the foundation that he has built.
That's
So
it.
sometimes God will be silent because he's waiting on, he already gave you what you need. Now you just need to stand and go do what God
That's
told you to
it.
do. It's just like, like a parent. You see your kid fall. but you already gave them the instructions on how to get up. So don't expect God to always try to come and pick you
That's
up. He
it.
already gave you the instructions. He already
He's
gave you
building
what it
you.
is to do. Trust, he's not going to let you get hurt. He'll always be there to catch you.
Mhm.
But you need to stand on God, stand on the foundation he's built for you, and to trust that wherever it is he's leading you, it's not to harm you. In Jeremiah, he says, I've given you a hope for a future. A hope that's not
it.
gonna to harm you. It's something that he is doing for your good. All things work for the good of those that
Yes.
love God. So if you ever doubt, if you ever feel like, well, God, I just don't know, give God back his word. God, you
That's
said
it.
that I had a future. You said that I'm gonna have life and have it
That's
more
what he
abundantly.
honors.
You said that this wasn't gonna harm me. So I'm believing what you're saying so that I can change my mindset, because whatever a
That's it.
man thinketh, so he
So
becomes.
is he.
If you think you're a failure, you're gonna be a failure.
That's it.
But if you think, okay, I'm a child of God, God, I have everything that I need. God has equipped me with everything that I need to be successful. I am successful. I am, just speaking words of affirmation for yourself from the word. You are going to become that what you think.
That's it.
So I really had to just really change my mindset. Like, no, I'm not going to be a failure. This is what God has called me to be. This is what he has called me to do, and it will prosper. So,
and it's basically you was watering the seed that was already planted in you while you were in your mother's womb. It was already planted in you. But like you said, you have to speak to that seed, to birth that seed, to nourish that seed. And when the enemy comes whispering, saying what you're not, that's when you know you are beyond that. You know, when the enemy says you are a failure, you know that you're successful. Because the enemy is always going to speak against or contrary to what God says you are. And you made a key point. You have to speak God's word back to him, because God honors his word. You get his attention when you speak his word. God don't come to pity party. He come to praise parties.
Come on.
He comes to praise parties. And I always say this. When the word of God says, my beloved, he said, why do you find it strange that fiery trials and tribulations, not just them small ones, them heated ones? Why do you find it strange that they are coming your way? He said, but you still do what? Count it all joy. I had to tell myself, let's dance in the rain. Let's be like David. You got to dance in the rain. It's no time for you to run for cover. Go ahead and dance in the rain, because you need the water. You need the tears.
Exactly.
Because you needed to water these seeds that's been planted in you, so that they can be birthed, they can bloom, they can blossom. So every time you speak life to your situation, guess what? You just watered it. And now you seeing it breaking through the surface. Now you seeing it blooming. And then the blooming is going to grow fruit, right? But the fruit ain't for us. It's for other people. I've never seen an apple tree eat off an apple tree.
Come on. Come on.
I never seen that. But it's for other people, for our testimony to give to other people. And it's actually not just building a business for you. It's also building ministry for you.
Come on here.
It's also birthing ministry. So every time your juice is being sold, that's ministry being, come on, plan it. Every time someone drinks your juice, it's planting nourishment from what? Who? God. Because God gave that gift.
Exactly.
So I'm so grateful for you.
I'm
making sure that we touched on everything. So we know that your main location is in Orlando.
Yes.
Tell us, and you said that all your other locations are in the VAs, right?
Yes. So the address the address for the store, it is in Orlando. You can type it into Google. You can type in Lake Buena Vista Factory Outlet, and we are inside that food court. Or you can also type in LBV Eatery, and it'll send you right to the food court, and you'll see us in there. You'll see our sign. We're in there. But if you also want to catch me when I'm at the Veteran Affairs Hospital, I am at the Tampa. There's one in Tampa. It's called the James A. Haley Veteran Affairs Hospital. It's right near, I think that road is called Dale Mabry. It's a Dale Mabry Road in Tampa. And then also I am at the St. Pete location. So if you can just Google it when you type in St. Pete Veteran Affairs Hospital, and we are always near their cafeteria. So if you want to find us in there, you can just type in the Veteran Affairs Hospital, Tampa. It's the James A. Haley Hospital. And we are always near the cafeteria. And then for St. Pete, same thing with St. Pete. We're near the cafeteria area. Actually, we're going to be in St. Pete soon in March, with a week of March 9th. We'll be at St. Pete if anybody wants to pop up. So,
well, I personally want to say that I truly enjoyed this podcast. I really did.
Yeah, I did too.
Because you are beyond amazing. You are
Thank
truly
you.
Blessed.
Thank you.
And God has so much more in store for you. You haven't seen anything yet. This is just the tip of the iceberg, I believe. For you, for your business, for your product, for your family. If you had to leave and close out with anything, to drop some nuggets to anybody that's wanting to start a business, what would it be? What would you say to them?
I would say, of course, first and foremost, you need to start and consult with God. Whatever, because there are a lot of businesses that people want to start, but did God call you to start that business? Did God say to do that? So you don't want to just start something without God's approval. So whatever it is, I would consult God first. Okay, God, this is what I want to do. Is this in your plans for me? And then after that, for people who, it's just them starting their business, I would try to find somebody, for example, Coach Wilson, somebody who can help guide you. For example, it's my parents. They help me out a lot. Find like a team, people who are like-minded, who can help you to go further into your business. I would also say that if you are not ready to have a radical kind of faith,
Come on.
If you are not ready for, to see more money going out than coming in, then I would say that maybe you should wait. But if you are ready for that, you really need to fortify your faith, and you really need to make sure that you aren't going to, that you're not going to, the word is slipping me for some reason, that you're not going to have fear, and it's not going to cause you to be stagnant. Don't be stagnant in whatever it is that you are trying to do. And if you feel like, your back is against the wall, if you feel like you don't know what next steps to take, you can always consult God. His word says that if you ask God for wisdom, he gives it liberally. So if you need wisdom on a decision that you need to make, ask the Lord. It is that simple. Now, you might not get an answer that same night or that same day. That's where the trust has to come in at. You got to trust that God is going to answer you. You got to trust that God is going to lead you to where you need to go. So I just want to say to those, who are looking to start entrepreneurship, it really needs to be, you really need to have a solid foundation when it comes to your faith. Because like you said, without faith, it's hard to please God. So if you don't have faith, that's you telling God, well, I don't trust you. Well, if you're telling God you don't trust him, your business is never going to move. Amen. So you really need to make sure that your foundation first is set. Your foundation is set. You've been consulting God. You're doing what it is that God wants you to do. And then you just go from there. And if you're somebody doing it on your own and you need people, again, ask God. He will send people. The word says he will cause men to give into your bosom. So if you consult God, he's going to bring the help that you need. Amen. And I know some parties are like, oh, she's talking about God.
No, but
Well,
God,
that's
you can't do anything without God. You really can't do
exactly.
anything, the podcast, entrepreneurship, or anything in life. You can't do anything with God. And this is a faith-based podcast. My coaching
Exactly.
is faith-based. So I just truly want to say thank you so much for being a part of BU Podcast. I
Thank
thank you so
you.
much. Keep doing what you do. And to all of you, please go like, subscribe to my BU podcast on YouTube, and make sure you tune in and share, because sharing is caring. And when
Yes.
you go to her juice shop, make sure you let her know that you saw it on BU podcast. All of y'all be blessed, and make sure you learn to be a blessing and not the problem. Until we talk again, all right, guys, be blessed.
Thank you.
Thank you, beautiful.
Thank you.